Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kibbles, and I will be your host today for this new segment of GamerKulture. Unfortunately, our usual host and founder, Kuma, could not be available with us today. Blame the state of Arizona.
Damn
you! Damn you!
you! Yeah, he doesn't. Yeah, it's the it's the war against the internet companies. You know, he just
Because no one else lives there. So as always, we have Tyler according to my screen in the upper right hand corner. How are you today, Tyler?
I'm doing okay. I'm just lurking in the shadows here. I have my beanie on because it's cold finally. I'm loving it.
Oh, I love the cold. The cold's the best. And we have a special guest today. Would you mind introducing yourself?
Hi, everybody. I'm Athena. I'm friends of Tyler's.
It's great to have you today, Athena. And so, 2020 is at an end, and we can all agree
it's much
been
needed.
a wild shit show. Been a wild shit show. There were ups and many downs.
Yeah.
And as the end of every year, it also means it's time for people to start putting up the game that they consider to be the game of the year. We do have some nominees for Game of the Year. This time, let me pull up that list.
Can I say that I finally jumped back into the gaming and actually playing these games, so I can actually say that I've actually played some of these games on this list, unlike years before.
Oh yeah, then we don't have people on there like, why is this guy in the corner? He doesn't.
Yeah, right. I know. Yeah. Why does he have all these opinions? Who is this guy?
Don't come after my game. I'm telling you, I will come at you hard.
Yeah. Before I even say what the Game of the Year nominees are, I actually want to ask you two, what do you guys think is your Game of the Year out of all the games you played?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I haven't played too many games this year.
Yeah.
So I think I might go with Persona 4. I'm just joking. I'm joking. I'm sorry. I'm just kidding. It's Kingdom Hearts 1. No. I will say this. I have yet to play this game. I want to play this game. I'm very excited to play this game. And I just heard about it, honestly, for the first time a couple months ago, because I've been watching Let's Players play, like Oni plays and a few other people as well. And I honestly think that the game that really deserves it this year, from the art style, the content of it, and how vast it is and amazing. Not only does the gameplay look, but it's just this whole immersive world. It's Hades. I think Hades is unbelievable. I've gotten to a point where I've gotten over the whole that type of game stuff, like
hack and
the
slash
Diablo stuff. Yeah. And like Diablo, and it's like that one angle and stuff like that to go through. But for some reason, Hades is completely revitalized and makes me want to jump in and play it again. And I told myself years ago that I would stop doing it. I would play maybe Age of Empires when I'm really, really bored, and I'm like, I want to revisit my childhood. But no, I want to play. I know they're not exactly the same, but I'm saying that fixed camera. But anyways, Hades. I actually think Hades deserves it this year from everything I've read.
Hades is a good game. It's one game I haven't been really. I've seen it in passing, but I kind of did forget. That's just my thing. It's I wasn't actually looking for it, but I see it every now and then.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give it a shot again. I'm like you. I don't care much for hack and slash Diablo type of games, dungeon crawlers. But it does look interesting, so maybe I will give it a try.
Yeah,
and then I forgot.
How about you, Athena?
Well, my opinion is very strong on this one, and you already know it. It is The Last of Us Part 2. I always thought The Last of Us couldn't be topped, but The Last of Us Part 2 outdid itself. It's graphically just breathtaking. It's almost like watching a live action movie. And then the story work they did, the things they did, even though it pissed off the fans, It
Yeah.
challenged you away. It challenged you in a way that you couldn't change the difficulty setting. Like you couldn't just be like, oh, I'm going to play on easy mode so I don't feel all the feels. You still had to feel all of the feels. And by the end, you were like,
We keep losing guests that way.
I know. What is wrong with us? Why do we
And
keep
she
losing
was-
everybody?
I
Oh,
don't
that's not-
know.
okay, so The Last of Us Part 2 is my game of the year, and that is because it's just breathtaking. Like, it's literally like watching an actual movie. Like, the graphics are just so well done. Like, the water effects, the fire effects, the lighting. There's this one point where you kill an infected person, and their blood melts the snow under them. Like, who goes to that level of detail? So crazy. And then obviously the emotional roller coaster of it, like it really like makes you question what a protagonist actually is. And it's just so beautiful.
Yeah, and like you said earlier before you got cut off, it is a game that is divisive towards fans.
It is divisive because of what it did in the very beginning. I don't know if
It
it's a
is.
spoiler point.
I think
But-
for a lot of people, it could have probably turned them off from it.
Well, it's
For
not
me-
just that part. Like people were upset about that part, and then you carry through the game to a certain point, and then it ends up making you play as the player that caused that point. And so a lot of people were turning it off at that point because they're pissed. They don't want to play as this person. They don't want to understand this person's story. I was pissed.
I was pissed off because I thought you would play as Crash Bandicoot for the remainder of the game, but I was sorely mistaken.
No, he was busy making his own game.
Oh man.
Which I still need to play.
But yeah, that's good. Like I hear so many things about it, but luckily I have noticed more people have loved the game, and I'm not friends with many people who dislike the game, so I feel like that's a good thing. I'm intrigued. I've never played The Last of Us, either one of them. I bought the first one on Black Friday, and I have it up there, still in shrink wrap. I may play it. It's not really
My heart.
I'm just very particular on my games, and so
I know you're not really into the zombie survivalist game thing, but it's really not like even in the first game, it doesn't come down to the zombie survivals. It comes down to like the scariest interactions are actually with humans and like questioning what humanity is. It's not like the zombies are a feature of it that causes you to question humanity, but it's not the focal point.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
No, I absolutely hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, I really have two games that I would consider game of the year, but I believe one of them is an older game that's been out for several years. So I'm going to pick the newer one, and that would be Animal Crossing: New Horizons. Just for me, for that game, I pick it because it came out right when everyone needed it. It's like right when the quarantine hit. It was like exactly like right when it's like, especially here in California, it was like on the day they said, "Hey, we're shutting everything down. You have to stay inside." That game came out, so I think it just came out at the right time. It came out right when everyone was denied leaving the house, and like no one can leave, no one can talk with friends.
I feel like that game is like game of the year for a completely different reason.
Right, it's not game of the year for the reason because it was like graphically interesting and emotionally challenging. It's like game of the year because it was the game we needed.
Yeah.
It was our Spider-Man game before Miles Morales.
It's not the game you wanted, it's the game you needed.
That is true. I mean, some people have it. Like some people like you pick a game because you like the graphics, the stories, and everything. Sometimes others it wins because it came out when everyone needed it. Like everyone came out when it's like pandemic. New Horizons like, hey, let's go to an island and let's just do stuff. Let's just go do stuff on an island.
Go to your
let's
own
take
island,
this blank island and be God.
Yeah. And they implemented new stuff. Like one of the new stuff is new terrain building. Like you can shape the terrain of your island. So if you want to make your island to be a Dickmo, you can have a Dickmo if you wanted to in the game.
Elijah Wood, AOC, all those people can visit your island, which is I think is like the most wholesome thing in the world.
It is. It's also weird because I've seen people they made talk shows out of that show.
Mm-hmm.
like how the
Out of
game,
the
Talk
game?
shows and game shows.
there's-
Yeah.
What?
I see if go on YouTube, there is a performance by the Gorillas that they did on an Animal Crossing talk show, and it was like through the game.
hmm
Crazy.
They're
Okay.
also doing
is.
like game shows and like weddings and
Yeah, I saw the wedding
graduations.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, that's what I would consider the game of the year because again, it came out. It was the game we all needed for this troubling year.
Mhm.
You
It
know,
may not be
I
story wise,
agree with you now. You've
Yeah.
actually completely turned me now. Like because before when I saw it, we'll go through the list. But like
Yeah.
I saw it, I was like, oh, that's nice and sweet. It doesn't have a chance. And now, Jeffrey, you have 100% convinced me. Now I'm gonna be
No,
upset.
like
I'm sorry, I'm gonna be upset now if Animal Crossing. Like, no,
so
like
literally.
Yeah.
I understand why you love the Last of Us.
No,
No,
But-
to
but
me, it's between
it's
three
not
games.
comparable anymore.
I think
Okay.
between 3 games is what it is. Like, read the list and I'll explain what I think.
All right.
Right.
Okay, I'm on. I'll make a graphic thingy over here. I am now on Team Animal Crossing, and I've never liked that series before, but now Jeffrey has converted me to vote for it.
Well, to be honest, this is the first game in the series that I've actually played, and it
Oh,
was the
really?
one where it was. I got it because I knew
too.
like all my friends would buy it, and it was
Mm.
the only game we all had in common. So like, let's all play and enjoy it.
Yeah, I had New Leaf and didn't care for it very much, but also like I know it's like now at this point it's like a fraction of the abilities of it that you can
Yeah,
do
yeah.
now on this new one. So maybe I might actually like the new one, and I should just try it out.
You
Yeah,
should.
maybe.
Great.
I mean, always give something a try.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at our list right now, and according to the Game Awards on their website, these 6 games are what they're going to consider to be the game of the year. We are looking at Doom Eternal, Final Fantasy VII Remake, The Last of Us Part 2, Hades, Ghost of Tsushima, and Animal Crossing New Horizons. Now, we already talked about half of them, so I want to get
Yeah.
you guys' has anyone here played Ghost of Tsushima?
I haven't
No.
played it yet. I've watched about 3 hours of gameplay, and I am compelled. Like, I'm interested in the story, but it's not as engrossing as, like, Animal Crossing's engrossing in that, like, I'm task-based and I really want to, like, get my island to be 5 stars, and I want to get all these friends, and, like, that kind of engrossing. And then The Last of Us is, like, immediately captivating because it draws you in through the story. So
Yeah.
it's comparable, and like the graphics are beautiful, but they're not on the same level. Like they're going for that realism, but it's on the same level as like the original The Last of Us, and The Last of Us Part 2 stepped it up like 8 points.
Yeah. See, I think The Last of Us probably had the edge because you're already familiar with the characters and the universe, where Ghost of Tsushima is completely brand new, so they had to start everything from the ground up.
Sort of, because The Last of Us, in the first game, you were more familiar with 2 characters, and like they did bring back some side characters, but in part 2 they expanded the world exponentially. Like they brought in a whole bunch more characters, and then you play from a completely different faction side later. So like they really expanded it, and there was a lot of there's a lot of controversy because the thing that happens, you ended up playing as the side that caused the thing, and like people didn't want to do that.
Yeah.
They
To me,
didn't want to
it's the
feel that
weirdest
pain.
thing because that's like always been something that I've always been interested in
It's
these type of stories.
it's terrible because by the end I was like, I actually kind of agree with the faction that did the terrible thing. What's happening? Like I feel really bad about the first game now.
Yeah, I'm about to say, I think that's what makes a good game is if you can sympathize with your villain in a game,
Mm.
you did a good villain. If you can
Yeah.
sympathize with,
But
oddly
it not
enough,
only
when
it not only
Avengers,
made you sympathize with the villain, it also made you question if your original protagonist was a protagonist. Like it took
Oh,
it to
yeah.
that level. Like there was a part that would almost mirrored the first game where the original protagonist played in the same way as the boss battle bad guy from the first game. And it was like,
Okay.
oh, okay, wait, hold up.
Which
Yeah,
makes a lot more sense with that title, like when it says Part 2 as opposed to The Last of Us 2 or The Last of Us:
Yeah.
everything else.
Yeah.
Now it's like
Yeah.
with the Part 2. makes
Yeah.
it seem like it's like, oh, this is not the end of that story. And yeah, absolutely. What were you gonna say, Jeff?
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Sorry.
No, I honestly cannot remember now, but that's perfectly
Sorry.
fine.
Can I say something about Ghost of Tsushima though?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Tsushima. I've watched a lot of people like if you are a part of our Discord, some of the people will stream it and play it, and I've watched them play it. I've watched other Let's Players play it. I watched a couple videos about the making of it and people who kind of dove into it. Channels that are like Did You Know Gaming? I can't remember who specifically did Ghost of Tsushima, but the whole game, everything about it is fascinating and awesome, and it looks like a lot of fun. I'm gonna say something that may not be like, you know, normal, I guess, or like what most people would agree with. But if your game is too hard and most people can't play it, I think that it's a gorgeous game and it's done a lot, but it didn't change anything to gaming or change anything for like I guess like it wasn't very impactful. Like I would say, The Last of Us, Animal Crossing, and I would say Hades as well has done for gaming itself. I don't think Ghost of Tsushima should be on this list. I think it is nothing to do with the future of gaming, with making gaming better. I think it's just
It feels
a
like a step
new
behind, kind of.
It,
not really. I just think it's like a present game. It's where like,
Right.
hey, I'm out and I'm comfortable right here. I'm just gonna sit here, play me.
Right.
And where the
yeah,
other one, like I would say Miles Morales, which has a nomination on here. I'm like, that game is like, I mean, look at it, the detail in that game, and um, everything they got, everything they did with it. I think it, especially for being a launch title. And with the reviews it's getting, with how it handles the new PS5 controller and how it has like a whole new interface and with the triggers and everything now. It's like there's so much with some of these new games that does more for gaming than Ghost of Tsushima. Not saying that's bad game at all. It's just it's not really the future of gaming. It's more of just like, hey, I'm comfortable right where I am.
yeah. Well, I
And
mean,
it's okay.
sometimes,
Sometimes you make games to make them for pleasure and you're
Yeah,
not trying to
absolutely.
cut that edge.
yeah,
But like when you have 3 games in the league that are cutting edge, like you're not standing a good chance.
Yeah,
yeah,
you can compare Ghost of Tsushima to other games. You can't really compare Animal Crossing to anything except for like
Animal
maybe
Crossing.
Sims. Yeah, like maybe a simulator, but like
It's like
it's
kid
more than that
sims.
though. But like it's
no
even
woohoo.
more than that. But yeah, I mean, anyways,
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, Jeff. You were gonna say something.
No, no, no. I'm about to say I agree with what Athena said. Sometimes people just want they don't want like the hardest like the game with the best new mechanics. Sometimes they just want a regular game that knows what it is, and I think
Yeah.
that's what the team is. It knows exactly who it wants to target and what it is, and that's perfectly fine. It can be like that.
Can I say that there are
Um,
two other games in this list though that do that too, which is Final Fantasy VII Remake and Doom
Right.
Eternal though?
Right.
okay. Let's start with Final Fantasy Remake because I feel like that one. They obviously, I think they changed the story up around, so it's not
Yeah.
exactly like that. But
But
I
it
think
still
that
sits
one's
in that comfort pocket.
yeah. But I really think also it's probably on. I'm not gonna say it's a bad game. I have never played it. I haven't played Final Fantasy until I started playing 14, and I know that's an MMO and it's not way different from everything else. But
You're
that's
missing
the
on
only one I
some
played.
great games.
I
I
know I
didn't
am.
start either, so I'm not judging you.
Like, and I haven't even played the original, so I'm not judging. I'm not gonna say it's a bad game. I'm just saying it's probably did very well. Is because it was the remake everyone was super wanting for years and years to come.
Yeah,
They want.
clamoring for it. Ah,
I mean, yeah, you compare it to the PS1. Obviously, not the best graphics. So obviously, people want it in. I think probably since the Kingdom Hearts games when they first started introducing them as like 3D models, they
yeah,
wanted to see 7 in 3D models, and
yeah. And then we had like
I got
Dissidia, the fighting game, and like a few other things, and like all these other teases as well. And like they've been promising a Final Fantasy VII remake for like 10 years now.
yeah, and they
Crazy.
always push it back. And I've seen friends that I don't expect to be Final Fantasy. I never suspected to be Final Fantasy people, like they played a game or anything, that were super excited. With made me question: are you just excited because the game's finally coming out and you're a true, or are you really a true fan, or
Yeah.
you just wanted to own it because like the game they said never come out is finally out?
Oh, is that
But
a
I'm not
thing?
saying no, but that's was the joke to everyone.
I mean,
Every time
the
when
last
you talk
part though,
to me,
that's how I felt. I was like, I only want to play it just to replay it. 'Cause I grew up with Final Fantasy VII. I love Final
Yeah.
Fantasy VII. It's not my favorite Final Fantasy though. My
I know.
favorites are 9 and 12 or 6. It's like it just depends. But everybody wanted Final Fantasy VII, and it's like over the years, people have just been like, like putting it on this pedestal, and you're just like, you should go back and replay it. Like it's
Yeah,
good, it's
it's
good, but
it's always been the joke of this is the game they want, and they always tease, but they never give it to you for years. Again, I'm not saying it's a bad game. I haven't played it. I want to play it still. I'm not saying it's a bad game. I just think maybe is the reason it got nominated is more for the hype of the game than maybe the actual game. Again, I have not played it.
1,000%.
I will make a final judgment on the game when I play it. But
It,
that's
it's
just
it,
it.
it, it's a nostalgia call. That's all it is.
It is
But it's
very.
okay.
It's
I mean,
fine.
this year especially, it was kind of needed. Like, we needed that little bit
Yeah.
comfort
But it's funny
and
because
nostalgia.
for me, everybody was talking about it for like a week, and then silence.
Right.
For Animal Crossing, I see memes all
Still,
the time.
to this day.
Yeah, people still do. And speaking of nostalgia, another on our list is Doom Eternal, which came out on the same day as Animal Crossing. Doom, I played a little bit of one, but I never really sat there and looked through it, so I'm not entirely sure. This is the one I'm least familiar with.
You
I know I
really should.
should
I
play.
I don't like those games. I don't like shooter games. I won't play the game. But looking into this and the making of it, this game is awesome. It's trying to do everything it can to like put forward FPSs towards the future and make them better and make them something different. Like that's what I love about they were like, yeah, our old Doom stuff was great, but here's the future.
Here's a
And
better.
That's cool.
it's like the opposite of what Destiny did, where like everything that everybody thought Destiny was going to do was like shape. It was going to shape FPSs. It was going to change everything. It didn't. Doom did it. Like
Good job, Doom.
Doom succeeded on everything that everybody expected Destiny to.
Yeah.
Again, I won't play it, but damn, like the research and the stuff that they did for this and the making of it it's a cool ride, man. It's
Yeah, I
cool.
mean, it's kind of like it's like how I don't play Wolfenstein. Well,
I've
that's more
never
because
played those.
I don't think you would like it. It's way too real for me, and I'm like, oh, this is just really depressing in this era. I'm just gonna
Yeah,
put this. Game
I
It's
saw
too-
that. I saw the coffee scene, like the coffee house, where just like the Nazi just walks in, and is like, "Oh, hey, what's up?" And you're just like, "Oh, I don't like this." Not like, and you
it's
can't
like,
shoot or
yeah,
anything. You just like have a
it's
newspaper, and you have a kid, and you're just like, I don't. Yeah,
it's way too real. I cannot. I'm like, I got sick like really fast in that game. It's a
yeah.
good game. The story's good, but it's just like it's too real in this moment. But yeah, Doom is like it's always a good game. Doom's going to be one to considered like one of the greatest FPS shooter franchises of all time. It's going to be a good game. Again, but with Animal Crossing, Last of Us, and Hades, and all the others, I just don't think it stacks up against them.
Like I said, I think like if you look into it, which I highly suggest you do, there's a few people who made some videos on it, and it's pretty great.
Yeah,
Like what went in on making it. So that's the only thing I can really say about it. I think I really think that Ghost of Tsushima might be the only one on here that doesn't fit, where I would probably have put Miles Morales, but that's it.
Yeah, but I think that game came out a little bit too late in a year to be considered.
Yeah,
I mean,
if it just came out this month, it's a little close.
Maybe, yeah.
I think people had the same thing when one year when Super Smash Bros. Ultimate came out, and they thought that should have been Game of the Year because everyone wanted it, but it just came out too late.
Yeah.
And now since
I'm
Kuma's,
surprised that's not on here, especially with all the new packs and the new DLC.
it came out like 2 years ago.
Ultimate came out 2 years ago. Oh my
came
god!
out-
What happened in
They came out in
2020?
18. They came out in 18
man.
or 19.
I have
What is
no
the
idea
time
anymore.
god? We're getting
2020
old.
2020 has ruined the concept of time.
I have my own experience, but that'll be for another day. But no, like
I think you're right. I think you're right, though. That sounds right.
Yeah. But unfortunately, Kuma couldn't make with us today. But that didn't stop him from giving us his list of nominations. Now, of course, we have the games that were already listed by the Game of the Year awards, but these are extra games that he put as.
I do not agree with his list.
I don't agree with some of it either, but
I agree with one of them.
This is the
I meant the
JK
added
nominations in that Kuma made. I had no list until just now seeing this.
Yeah.
He put Marvel's Avengers, which is I don't really know.
We should just do our own episode about Marvel's Avengers because absolutely not.
I think, yeah, we'll leave Falco for that because I know Falco played at least a bit. I haven't played it, but I've seen reviews of it. I think the completionist had one where it's like, if you want, I think he has a review, and even then, I couldn't sit and watch through the entire thing.
I only played it because I heard the backlash. I played the demo. That is so,
played the demo?
And it is so bad. It's just so Get
on with it. Yes, get on with it.
The next game on this list is Phasmophobia, which has been which has been played on the GG Twitch channel for a while now.
We play it on our Discord. We'll play it on our stream sometimes.
We mainstream it. It's just a thing.
It is a great game. I don't think it's Game of the Year, but I think it can be.
It's not Game of the Year, but I think it could be game best probably multiplayer of the year. Because again, it's not like everything. It's not AAA. It's not super high tense graphics or everything.
And it is early release too.
Is it still considered early release? Oh, so it shouldn't even be nominated this year then. If it's not, if it's still early release,
it's not fully released yet. It's early release.
And there's probably going to be. I think there's probably some bugs in the game still, but it's
there's a ton. But they're still also doing. They're planning on a mansion, an apartment building, a prison map is in progress. Like,
oh, they done.
Did you say pirate building?
Apartment building.
Oh, I think it's a pirate building.
Yes, a pirate building.
No, that's the summer special.
Trying to catch those Sea of Thieves crabs back.
That's the summer special.
Among Us is having a pirate ship, so I knew that.
That's the summer edition. But no, it's like Phasmophobia was like that one game where it's like it popped out of nowhere, and like along with Among Us, that like people were like, "Oh, this is really fun."
Yeah, they both got big because of one streamer. I think it was PewDiePie for Among Us or something like that, or is it a Markiplier?
No, Markiplier doesn't like Among Us. He hates like Mafia detective games like that.
Oh, I was gonna say, does he not like Mafia? Because I know he's a theater guy.
No, he does not like it.
He's a butt.
Yeah.
Don't knock my Markiplier. I had plans to marry him once upon a time.
I love Markiplier. I'll always love Markiplier.
Oh, I do too.
My sister was like, "I'm gonna text you when he's in the park, and you're gonna accidentally meet him, and then you're gonna get married, and it'll be the end of it." And I was like, "Okay."
Is he single?
No, he's taken.
No, way back.
Is he married?
He's not married, but he does have a girlfriend.
I just know that he is a good farmer. He is a good farmer. Anyway, I wish I had his voice. God, he is the best voice.
Right?
I agree with that.
Him and Corpse, like.
What's the next one on here? Star Wars Squadrons was another late game that is nominated, not for Game of the Year, but nominated for advancements in VR technology. I think it was nominated for. I have not played it. Our friend has, and he's super into it with VR and flight control.
Yeah, I know a couple people who played it and love it. They love the VR. They don't like the game, but they love the fact that they don't love the game at all. But they think that it is like a step forward for VR, which is great. It is. And you need to at this point we just need a stepping stone for VR. That's good enough right now. So,
are you saying we need those like those harnesses in like the arcades where you can just walk around in?
I mean, okay, let's be honest here. Star Wars has always had a very tough time jumping from a platforming game because look at Star Wars Connect. Look at the Darth Vader game, VR game before, and then whenever they jump away from just a platformer, console game to anything else, it's fucking horrible. Again,
Well, it's hard to get.
Star Wars
I mean,
Connect.
Star Wars, in a lot of ways, is very much so like character driven. So when you're trying to go into something else with it that isn't like platformer or shooter, it doesn't work.
Well, no, I meant like literally won't work. Like again, Star Wars Connect. Oh my god.
Jedi Knight was the best one. That was the one that came out.
It's not VR, right?
No,
It's
Jedi Knight. No.
Yeah.
That one. I think, like Athena said, it's very one person driven. Like you had to be one person, and Jedi Knight did a good job with that because you're just one Jedi, and where it's not like Squadron or like everyone else, where it's like it's you play like giant armies. I think that's where it is. They focus on it too much.
Because it loses kind of the essence of what Star Wars is.
Absolutely. I understand.
And then, the mechanics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm not all that excited about Squadron in general.
Yeah.
VR kind of makes me sick.
I'm just Star Wars out. I'm just kind of Star Wars out. I just watched Empire for Pop Moses' film. Video can be found on YouTube. But
nice plug.
No, but I'm so Star Wars. I haven't even watched Mandalorian. I've watched the first episode when it first debuted.
I will literally never be Star Wars out. I walked down the aisle to the Imperial March. So
nice. If I'm offered, like, if someone tells me, "Hey, you want to go watch Star Wars?" I will not say no. I will go watch it, but I will not go actively seek it out.
Yeah, that's actually how I feel as well.
Yeah, my friend. Yeah, again, my friend said, "Hey, you want to go watch Star Wars: The Last Jedi or something?" That's the first one that came to my head. I'm like, okay, let's go do that. It kills an hour or two, but I'm not like the
2.5 hour long movie.
Yeah, I'm not going to go look for Mandalorian. Like I haven't seen that show either because I'm not that big.
Better than the movies. Ouch! I
That's
can't believe I just said that. It's really good.
You know, we should probably start talking about those.
And it actually nods to Firefly too, which is a complete segue. But there you go. It does have nods to Firefly, so there you go.
And we will not get into that because that is not our show.
No. Anyway, back to this point.
Next one is on.
Get on with it. Yes, get on with it.
Sean's list is Amnesia Rebirth, which Amnesia has been a game everyone respected.
I've been hearing so many mixed things about it. Like people love it. People are just kind of like, all right, that's okay. Like, I think Amnesia is gonna have a hard time going back to the beginning, to Dark Descent. I don't know.
I'm not gonna say it's bad. I respect the theory. I have a hard time staying focused with that game because I've watched Jesse Cox and the Scary Game Squad play. They were doing a playthrough of it this Halloween. I think I got through maybe 3 episodes of it, and I haven't gone back to continue the rest of that series.
There's a lot of sun in that game.
I've watched about an hour of it, and it just feels like it's discombobulated. Like it just feels disconnected, and there's not enough like exploration. But then there's too much stuff to explore. I don't know. It's a little. Yeah. It's a little hit or miss.
I feel like it kind of just diverts too much from because Amnesia was like one of the best survival horror games, and then in my opinion, Alien Isolation came out, and then we have Amnesia 3. I forgot what it's called already, but like
Rebirth?
Rebirth, and then that comes out, and then I'm just like, I know, like you're
It's
nothing
not on the
like
same level.
these. Yeah, so like
Yeah.
I'll go back to Alien Isolation, like.
Yeah. Again, I haven't played it. I do respect the series. I will have to play on I will have to buy and play on my own time to get a full opinion. But I think it's like the game said, if like at the very beginning it says, do not go for achievements, just enjoy the ride.
It was like you're not supposed to win. This game isn't about winning. It's about like
the journey or something like that.
Yeah, that's it. It was the
So
journey.
maybe that can be a different review. Maybe some people were trying to win it, while others are like, "I'm just going to play and see how it goes." Maybe.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah.
I guess I can understand that. So,
yeah.
yeah.
Next one, relatively new game as well, Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Now, this one I've been hearing.
Terrible
I
things.
I want to be good because I like the Vikings. I like Vikings in general. That was
We've
the
got a
only good
war.
thing I had.
I'm kidding. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but that's only PS4. I can't play it. I can play it on Steam. I
Yeah.
love the Viking era, but I cannot. That was the only thing I was like, I want it to be good because I like Vikings.
Right.
Yeah.
I was like
I-
excited for this game. Actually, I was like, and then like I was like coming out, I see like articles like, oh, offensive scene had to be passed out a game or something like that. I'm like, what the fuck is going on with this game?
I think like right now I just cannot support Ubisoft, and I know that we have a plan on talking about toxicity in the gaming industry for a future episode. I just can't in good conscience support an Ubisoft game like that or the new uh, um, Watch Dogs game. Like I just can't,
Yeah.
especially the new Watch Dogs game on how they promoted
Oh.
the shit out of that. Holy shit!
To
Yeah,
be
I
quite
can't.
honest, that scared me because that was also too real.
That was
scares-
no, it wasn't. It was too real. It was extremely offensive. Like
yeah. No. I just mean
I mean,
like the
that still
Watch Dogs.
feels really real in this world.
that's true.
Like,
I mean,
Yeah. I mean, I was like, I do have like appreciate. I consider maybe from the beginning of it, like Assassin's Creed to Black Flag, or where the peak was, and then it started going down. I have somewhat of appreciation for Origins just because I watched the YouTube channel where they bring experts, and they do put their research into the game. They put in research for like
Yeah.
the time periods and everything. So like they brought in like architects and they looked at like the monuments and everything. Like this is the correct architecture that you will find in this time period in like Egypt or in France or everything.
which is awesome. Like
So
good on
That's
them.
really
that's the
cool.
one thing is they do a lot of research on like the environment, which is fine. You can do a lot of research in the environment. It does not matter if
Creating
the
jobs for
gameplay is not
historians,
good.
which is great too.
Yeah, it does not. I don't think it would if the gameplay and everything else with it and story isn't as good. No matter how good the background and environment is, it's not going to be a good game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think like right now, if I remember, I think everybody still thinks Black Flag's the best one out of them. Or
Oh,
is it
I love Black Flag. Black
or
Flag,
is
I
it
love.
Odyssey? I don't know.
Everyone considers Black Flag's up there in like the top 3, and then everyone considers the SEO trilogy to be the best.
Okay.
Yeah. The only thing, the last thing I'm going to say with this, I've seen images of people saying you can travel with a cat in the game. Like you
Oh,
get a
that's
kitty.
cool. I want a
And you
kitty.
travel
Okay.
with a kitty.
Does that mean we're gonna get like a new Twitter, like the one like can you pet it, like the like can you pet it Twitter, where it's like it'll tell you games where you can pet the dog. Now we're gonna have
Oh,
can you carry a cat Twitter? Oh
yeah,
no.
that's Fred Dead 2, the king of
Oh,
can I
man.
pet the dog.
Okay.
And then
So, oops, sorry.
I was about to say we have one more game on Sean's list,
Oh yeah.
and
What
that
is it?
is Half-Life Alyx. Now, this one is also
I've
one
never
of,
played a Half-Life game.
I haven't played a Half-Life game either. It was kind of before my own time when it was coming out. I think I was probably still middle school, maybe early high school. But Half-Life I know is a game everyone wanted. Like everyone loves the series. Everyone wants a Half-Life 3. To a lot of people, Half-Life Alyx kind of counts for them as the Half-Life 3 that they've been waiting for.
Yeah.
And
No,
I think
it's a spinoff.
yeah, it's a spin-off and it uses but I think it's a VR game if I remember correctly. And people
Yeah, I don't know
were
much about it.
I believe it's a VR. I remember seeing people that were like super excited for they love the VR like features in the game and everything and they were fell in love. Like I know Jacksepticeye loved the game when he played it. But unfortunately, I don't play it. I haven't been into the Half-Life community, so I have no opinions on it. I do respect the series and how important it is, but I do not. I really can't say much about this game. That's
Okay.
all I can say.
Yeah, me too.
It's a very polarizing list you got there, Sean, but we love you anyway.
Right.
So
Uh,
for game of the year, I think I'm going to root for Animal Crossing, with Hades being my number 2. I actually think they're gonna give it to either The Last of Us or Final Fantasy VII to
yeah.
appease people. I think that's I
Whoa,
honestly
whoa! Don't even go there with the give it to.
No,
like
no, no,
they're not earned.
no. I meant no. Well, I don't know, like, because Jeff made the greatest, like,
I'm not
pitch
saying Jeff's
pitch
argument isn't good.
for Animal Crossing,
Huh.
and Hades is like, oh god, that game. However,
If you're
like,
gonna give it
I
to
don't
AAA,
know.
I agree.
Well,
I agree with Tyler.
Yeah, but I guess my side eye and my sass was mostly targeted towards Final Fantasy VII, though. I think they're going
I
to
was gonna
appease,
say,
I think
don't compare.
they're going to appease people, but I actually think Animal Crossing should win because it had a social impact. It had an impact on gaming, and it's
It
still
drew people in who don't video game even.
Yeah. It's not only that, it's the sole reason why Nintendo Switch is now the best-selling console for Nintendo. And people are, and it is still not stopping. They're still selling out like crazy and selling out of Animal Crossing. And like it's almost as prevalent now than it was when it came out in March. That's insane.
Yeah, I was like,
Crazy.
I have a friend, her and her, she has a decent relationship with her grandmother, but no, not with her grandmother, with her mother. But the one thing they bond over is Animal Crossing. So when the new one came out, they bought 2 Switches and 2 copies of Animal Crossing so they can play together.
Aw, that's awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, those are the game of the years. Those are our lists. I actually want to hear from people that view the video. If you agree with us on any of this, what you think the game of the year should be, and what your list of best games that you played this year.
Absolutely.
I honestly think if it weren't a world of COVID, and if you were looking objectively just at what games did and how they pushed the boundaries and that sort of thing, The Last of Us would win easily. But because we're looking at it through a lens of what changed, you can make that face all you want, Tyler. I'm serious. I can see your face.
I'm just saying, I know you love The Last of Us. I'm just saying you really should look into Hades.
I'm not saying it's not going to be a good game. I just mean it's pushed boundaries and done more. Like, it went into detail that just wasn't even needed. It was so expansive.
You should also look into Hades. That's all I mean, though. Like Hades did that as well. Like it's so weird because I watched a bunch of animators break it down. Like Hades is like sweeping through where everybody is trying to figure out one thing: how they actually did make this game. The stupid detail that they made, there are things in this game that make no sense. That take up an ungodly amount of data just to animate like off screen, or not even off screen, but like off the map. That is still fully animated, and it's like stupid what they want to put in that game. And you're just like, why would you do this? Like, it's gorgeous and I love it, and like, but why? And it's so. I'm telling you, I agree with you because I've watched and looked into and read a lot about Last of Us because I wanted to know what the hell is going on with this game.
What's the hype? Why?
Yeah, what's the hype? What's this Reddit hate train? What is everybody freaking out about?
Oh God, yeah.
But I will say this: from everything that I have watched, like I love The Last of Us Part 2. It is a step forward in story and mostly performance in video games. But it is definitely a story first game, and a lot of the other technical achievements are fantastic as well. I just have to say though, like when you're doing like a game of the year, like, to me it's like, what is the future of gaming? What will be remembered and people be playing still years and years and years to come? It looks like I think people are going to go back and play Hades like they go back and play the rest of Supergiant games. Like they go back and play those games still today. They're older games. Animal Crossing, people will play that for years. And then Doom Eternal, I mean, we just had that 2016 Doom that still had DLC that kept coming out and stuff like that. Like we had more and more Doom that has stood the test of time. In this new one, they went balls to the wall with it. Where Last of Us, technically, and like you said, the detail and stuff like that is phenomenal, but it was also stuff that was already pre-existing that games have also not had utilized, but did have access to because of the engine was there. Where Doom Eternal, and especially Hades with style, like Hades, holy crap, because it's complete hand-drawn style and a little bit of CG and and CG and stuff like that, and then Animal Crossing, basically Nintendo building a whole new world and engine for. I don't even know. Is it? Do you know if it's a whole new engine? Is that a Nintendo engine?
I do not know. I have not done research into it.
Yeah,
I don't.
I don't know either. But that's all I'm saying. Like I love what Last of Us did, what it achieved, and stuff like that. But I think there are clearly 3 other games on this list that did do more on the future of gaming, and that's what I always like. That's why whenever movie awards come out, I'm like, what movie is going to stand the test of time, and people 10 years from now when I go back, be like, hey, do you remember 2020? Like, what was that one movie like that? It was like the best movie of the year. Like, and then everybody will think of that movie. That's what deserves the best movie of the year, which is why Dark Knight should have won 2008. And so
I'm
like
just saying.
no, I understand. I just don't think that I don't think like maybe in 5 years from now people are going to talk about Last of Us unless a new game comes out.
You are so wrong. People are still talking about the first game. So
no, it's very
true.
very true. It's very true. But like I feel like that the hate train for Last of Us is only.
It's just because people like what happened. People couldn't get past that emotional challenge, which in my opinion, like I said, like it's something you couldn't change the difficulty on. Like in a first-person shooter, you can be like, all right, I can get better. I can put on auto aim. I can do these things. But there's not necessarily that emotional hurdle you have to cross and like do some internal searching.
Yeah.
Last of Us took it to like a psychological perspective that you don't typically see in gaming. And so that's why I'm saying it does have a future in gaming. It has kind of pushed that envelope.
Oh, okay.
So I'm just saying like The Last of Us and Hades, I think those would have been like the top 2 for sure. I think Animal Crossing is going to win because of the COVID lens. It really did bring in people who never game into the gaming community, and they love it. And I love it. Like it's a great game. It's fun. It was a great escape. It's been a great escape, and so it's sort of like a lens. And I'm perfectly content to see like Laura Bailey win Best Performance and The Last of Us win Art Direction or something like that. I'm okay with that because of like what we went through this year.
Yeah.
But I think if it was outside of a COVID lens, I don't know if Animal Crossing would have even ended up on the list.
Yeah, no, I 1,000% agree with you. I don't think it would have been on this list either. What do you think, Jeff? And then we'll move on to the next. We'll move on to the next one.
Sorry.
No, I'm about to say in the social view, I always think Animal Crossing has the chance. It's a really type again between Last of Us, Animal Crossing, Hades, Final Fantasy. They're all in there. The one thing I can probably say with 80% certainty, all the anime community will vote for Final Fantasy VII.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
I don't know, man. I think a lot of them are going to vote for Animal Crossing.
That's true.
Like,
there's a lot of.
I don't. I'm looking at the weebs.
That's true. That's true. I mean, I just don't
There's
have
a lot of weebs.
I don't have a lot of people who talk about it like on any platform that I pay attention to anymore. It's completely like it was there and huge and then it was gone. Just gone. Yeah.
I've seen memes of it, but I figured those memes have already been around for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Animal Crossing memes are as hot as Simpson memes right now.
Because again, I'm not crapping on the game, but I think the only thing that boosted it up is the graphics. I think that was the big drawback with that. Yeah. They're all 3D HD. Yes, it's a gorgeous game. But again, that's I think all that people were really wanted is like I want these in 3D. I'm like, again, I'm not saying it's a bad game. I'm just saying that I think that was the biggest draw.
Yeah, absolutely. Which actually could lead us to the next the next award, and we'll fly through the rest of them. That was like the meaty part of it, which is Game of the Year.
Yeah.
Now we can fly through the rest of it.
All right. All right, I need to look through. Best game direction. Obviously we got Final Fantasy 7, Ghost of Tsushima, Hades, Half-Life Alyx, Last of Us Part 2.
I think, and I'm so sorry. I actually think I don't want it to. I actually think Ghost of Tsushima is going to win this one,
I think it might, but here's my only thing. Like,
or Last of Us. I think those
if
are
you've
going to be
ever
the two.
seen The Last of Us in development, it's not just like they put together a game, there's voice actors.
Yeah.
They do mocap, and they're literally on screen directing it, and Neil Druckmann is a freaking Nazi about it. Like, he will make you
true.
redo the scene 90 times until he gets what he's looking for. And it's like he's just waiting for this magic moment. And so I think 90% of why it took them 5 fucking years to get this game out is because he's such a perfectionist about these little details. And I can't even listen for it because, like, they were so good. But
No,
I do think
I
the
agree with
direction
you.
of Ghost of Tsushima is really good.
I think that there's this whole thing about everything I read from people are just like, oh, the game direction, the game direction, the game direction. Like, and I think like from articles and everything else about Ghost of Tsushima. So I think with articles and from what I see on Reddit and stuff like that, I think people are like, there is a gigantic community that are
For
dead
sure.
set on like they don't think Ghost of Tsushima is game of the year, but they definitely are like, but game direction, motherfucker. But also a lot of people like don't really look into like the really in-depth stuff. It's mostly articles that persuade people. And Ghost of
Right.
Tsushima had got a shit ton of positive press where Last of Us unfortunately did not. Because and again, I don't agree with the negative stuff because again, one thing, I haven't played the games, and two, when I read what they did, it seems awesome to me as somebody who likes to write and somebody who likes to tell stories and likes to be engulfed into things that are brand new. Because if they did Last of Us like they kept going like you thought it was going to go, then what makes it different than any other game? Why don't they surprise you? And so
I know there was also like a lot of backlash because people were like, why is it so long? Why doesn't it stop where it's stopping? And if you made it all the way to the end, you're like, that's why. This moment right here is why. But you have to like keep going and making it through the end and being like, okay, so that wasn't actually the ending. There is more here. And yeah, I mean, you had to just like make yourself get through the hard stuff. And I feel like that's life. Like you have to get through the hard stuff.
Yeah.
I remember somebody said something like that on Facebook and somebody shot him down and go, don't you like Persona 5? And then like that person did not say another thing because you're just like it was like what Last of Us like what 18 to 28 like an 18 to 24-hour game.
No, it's like 28 to 32 depending on how often you die and how
nothing compared to
completionist
Persona. Yeah, Persona 5 is like an 80+ hour game. So
it's like 500 plus.
It's just because it has like 1, 2, 3 separate moments where it feels like it could end.
Yeah, that's awesome. I don't know. I just don't. I don't know. Maybe I will play it and then I'll do.
I was really happy it didn't end. I was like, oh, thank God, that's not the ending. Like I wanted more. But
because, like when I remember when Heavy Rain ended, and I was like, are you fucking kidding me? And like,
oh, that's fun. Like yeah, no.
Can I just be glad that we don't have games like Heavy Rain anymore? Like that was like a big deal, and everybody like freaked out, and it wasn't that great, and then it's just
the closest
gone.
one we got is Detroit All Humans, which probably
Detroit Become Human. That was really good.
Yeah.
Detroit Destroy. Did you say Detroit Destroy Humans?
That was just Detroit All Humans.
Oh, Destroy. You meant Destroy All Humans, but still, that's why I was like, okay.
No, that's a different game.
Yeah, Destroy All Humans.
I do love that game though. I do love it.
Fun. They're fun.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna skip a few of these because a lot of these are the same game of the year choices in here.
Well, it's the same ones over and over and over again. Actually, but 13 Sentinels, 13 Sentinels for best narrative is actually pretty nifty. I'm not gonna lie.
I actually have not heard of that
game.
Okay, we have to talk about best art direction now.
Yes, I was just gonna say we have to do this one.
All right, fair enough. Let's do it.
Okay. All right, Jeffrey, what do we got?
Fuck, I just saw right here. It is. Final Fantasy 7, Ghost of Tsushima, Hades, Ori and the Will of the Wisp, The Last of Us Part 2. Now, I know Taylor loves the art direction for this. For Hades. But I like the color and everything in Ori.
I know. I actually was going to
Those
say
two
the
are-
exact same thing. It's just
Yeah, like,
so
Hades is good, but Ori's just super gorgeous.
it's gorgeous. It's so eye catching. Like every single stop is like like a picture perfect. Like it's like a screen cap every
Yeah.
second of it. Like
Yeah.
nothing has an ugly face or anything, and it's just
So
gorgeous.
from the clips I've
Oh.
ever seen of Final Fantasy, Ghost of Tsushima, and Last of Us, they're all super dark. Not super dark, but they're dark and gloomy, grayish in tone.
They're not. The Last of Us is not what you think it is.
I
If you
said from the
haven't-
scenes I've seen.
There are
Like-
expansive points where they're out in like broad daylight in a field, and you see light rays, and you see like they walk through water, and the water comes off of their clothing in a realistic way. Like,
Again, I haven't played it or seen playthroughs because I eventually want to play that game. I eventually
Yeah.
want to.
As much as I love Hades and I want to give Supergiant like I will be so happy if Supergiant wins.
Yeah.
I would be so happy to see Ori win. Like
I
know
would
Ori,
be okay with Ori, but I'm telling you, it's The Last of Us. You can't match
I
the
actually
level
think
of detail.
I think 7's gonna snag it though. Really think 7 is gonna snag it because
Fucking weebs.
it's I mean because it's a gorgeous game as well, and the water in that game too is pretty fantastic. But yeah, oh man, that's a tough
alright.
one.
Let's do one I think Tyler would love. This is the best performance. I have not played any of these games, so I do not have any opinions on them. You got Ashley Johnson as Ellie from The Last of Us Part 2. Laura Bailey as Abby from Last of Us Part 2. Wow, those both 2 nominations for Last of Us.
It's because there's two main. It's like I told
Yeah.
you. There's two main parts. Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to butch this up, so I'm terribly sorry.
I think it's Daisuke.
Daisuke Suzy
Daisuke?
as Daisuke
Suzy.
Suzy as
Jin
Sin
Sakai.
Sakai in
Oh my
Ghost of
gosh.
Tsushima.
Oh my gosh, you really did
Logan-
butcher that.
I know
What?
I butchered that.
I think that's correct.
It's
Sin
close.
Sakai? Yeah, I told you I'm a butcher, and I'm
That's
terribly
okay. It's
sorry.
Fuji.
Logan Cunningham as Hades, and then Najee Jeters as Miles Morales.
Okay.
Again, I have not played these, so I do not have an opinion.
You know what? Why don't you go first? I've been gone first too much. I'm sorry.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, I think Laura Bailey won this because the thing is, she started out as a character that I fucking hated, and I was so mad I had to play as. And by the end, her character was so compelling that I didn't like the original character.
Yeah.
Like, it's a powerful performance to do that. And I give mad credit to Ashley Johnson because she also clearly has crazy range that she could go from
She's
being
so good.
this character to being an antagonist and making horrible choices and like just being a terrible person. So it was really like interesting to see that growth and development, and I really think Laura Bailey owned it.
I agree. I actually think Laura Bailey should win, but I would love to see Najee Jeter win too, though.
I will
Yeah.
say Adam played the game and he said Najee Jeter was amazing. So
Sorry.
But I think Laura Bailey deserves it. Her performance is so good. Ashley Johnson has been like one of my favorites for a while. She is awesome. I love her to death. But Laura Bailey like acted around her in circles, and she's so good.
I just feel like
good.
if Laura Bailey's performance hadn't been as compelling and well done as it was, the game would have flopped. It would have been so much worse
I can see that.
than what the fan backlash is saying. It would have been a night and day difference. Like, without that performance, it's a completely different game.
Yeah. Notice how nobody from Marvel's Avengers is on this. Sorry.
All right.
Logan Cunningham is a phenomenal actor, but the fact that he's on this list and not somebody from Avengers It's
All right.
hilarious. Sorry.
Let's do the
Shade.
next category. I'm deciding to do would be best mobile games. So we got Among Us.
I'm
Call of
surprised
Duty-
you're skipping. Wait, can we? I'm sorry. Can
Wait,
we?
which one you want to do?
I really think we should talk about best ongoing.
Best ongoing?
Oh yeah,
Well, I was going to jump that to best community support because most of them are in that category as well.
that's true. But like these are games that have had like complete either revamp or like massive DLC and massive continue.
Okay, we can do that. Best ongoing then would be Apex Legends, Destiny 2, Call of Duty Warzone, Fortnite, and No Man's Sky. Now, I gotta say, No Man's Sky has been updating. It came out shit show, but they're pausing that shit show.
Yep.
They're pausing that shit show.
It's the first time that you see a shit become gold,
Yeah.
like ever.
Fortnite, I don't know
I
what's
deal with
going
a
on.
lot of shit in my line of work. It doesn't happen.
I'm about to say Fortnite. I don't know what the deal is going on with Fortnite. To be quite honest with you,
I-
I've lost track. I don't know if it's still a battle royale or they switched it to something else.
I mean,
They have both, I think.
it's everything. But here's what I would love for No Man's Sky to win this. But I really want Fortnite to win because of the events they've been doing, the shaping of the game. People shit on it way too much when it's just I don't play this game. I have no interest in this game. But everything they do in this game is so intriguing that I look into it, and it's just like the Marvel stuff is awesome. The Star Wars stuff was so cool that they did, for Rise of the Skywalker or Rise of the Shitwalker. And
Eat my dick, Tyler.
Fortnite completely deserves it. I think it is a huge step for gaming. People shit on it, they hate on it just to get on the hate train. Just to feel better about themselves, but it still is a massive success. And I think they still deserve it with their events and everything that they've been doing on it. And I'm still shocked that GTA 5 is not on this list and that Destiny 2 is. When Destiny 2 has done nothing except for this regurgitate the same bullshit. Like
I'm gonna say I agree with you,
GTA 5
Tyler.
and GTA is fun.
As much as everybody hates on Fortnite, like everybody still plays it. Like you hate on it, but you're still playing. Like what?
I just don't know what it is no more. To be quite honest, that's the only thing. Like, I don't know what it is. Is it about because I remember when it first came
Battle
out.
Royale. They also have a
It
story
was
part.
yeah, because I remember when it first came out, it was just a fort protection game. Like the very beta was like fort protection, then turned to battle royale, and now they add a story compartment to it.
So they have the story compartment. They do the battle royale. They still have fort protection. They also have what's it called? Oh, like build your own maps. You can invite people in and do battles. So like, Adam built like a bounce castle thing with all these bumpers, and you're trying to shoot everybody, and you're being like bounced around like you're in a freaking pinball machine. My son built a Turtle Wars thing. I guess like you're running around in tunnels or something.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying is like that and No Man's Sky are amazing on this list. I'll give Apex a little bit of credit as well. What the fuck is Call of Duty Warzone and Destiny 2 doing on this list? Like
everybody still plays them.
Yeah, because there's a streamer I follow on Facebook. She still actually plays she plays a lot of Warzone.
Yeah, but I still think that GTA 5 with their events and everything that they've been doing deserve to be in here. And I'm sorry, we've been obsessed with this one game on our Discord, and I've been streaming a lot more. I'm sorry, Sea of Thieves needs to be on this fucking list too.
That's been out for
a while, but this is but none of these games are from this year.
Are they still making more stuff for Sea of Thieves?
Yeah, that's what we're playing. They do events every month.
Oh.
And it's like, and it still grows, and they're still adding more to it. And it just came out on PC. It's phenomenal. What the fuck is Warzone doing on this shit? Like,
I don't know, bro. I don't know.
It's just the same regurgitated shit. It's just like, cool, kill this guy over there. You did it. You win. There you go. And that's it. Like, it's nothing different. Nothing is the same. They don't put anything in it. The enemies aren't even different. It's just whatever. All right, it's fine. That's my shade.
Right.
That's why I wanted to talk about it.
All the shade.
I'm trying to think.
Fucking Call of Duty. Get that shit out of here. Get that shit out of here.
I would say GTA should be in over Destiny and probably Sea of Thieves over Call of Duty.
Thank you.
All right, I think I'm probably do a few more of these because I'm
Or
looking
even
at this.
Among Us. Why isn't Among Us on there? Sorry.
It's on mobile. It's on mobile.
Oh, I know that. I saw that. But that's an app though. But Among Us should be on there as well. They had 2 new maps. They have a third one coming out. Among Us should be on. Among Us has done more for that game than Destiny 2 has done for Destiny 2. Mic drop.
Among Us has been out for 2 years before people realized it.
Oh, I know, but that's what I'm saying. But that's
It's still continuing.
all these games are old. Destiny 2 is what, 4 years old, right? No. How old is Destiny 2?
2 years?
I have no idea.
I don't know. But yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like all these games are old. All of them. None of these are from this year. Apex is what, last January? Yeah. I don't know.
Destiny 2 came out in
Wait, I think this counts as a game.
for 3 years.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm looking at the list. We'll probably do a few more because looking at this list,
Sorry.
we're gonna be here for a while.
Sorry about that. Well,
There's one in here that I don't.
We're definitely gonna skip all the esports stuff. I'm not in that. I don't watch anything competitive. Anything sports, esports, nothing. I mean, best indie game.
Best indie. We got
Hades.
Carrion,
Got that. Like,
Fall Guys, Hades, Spelunky 2, Spearfair.
I mean, it's gonna be either Hades or Carrion, but it's gonna be Hades. It's gonna be the one that's nominated for Game of the Year. Like, you know.
Can you look at this objectively?
Not Fallout or Fall Guys?
Fall Guys?
Fall Guys is good, but it kind of
people-
fell to the wayside after Among Us.
Yeah, I was gonna say, are people still playing it?
Like
I don't
people
see
found Among
anybody
Us
play it
and Fall Guys
anymore.
disappeared.
No, they still play it.
Oh, okay. Well, good for them. I mean, I have nothing against it. I just it didn't look fun to me.
It was fun.
Best mobile: Among Us, Call of Duty, Genshin Impact, Legends of Runeterra, Pokemon Cafe.
Runeterra. I think it's gonna be Among Us or Genshin Impact. It's gonna be the weebs. It's gonna be the weebs versus the streamers. I feel like.
I want the streamers to win. I don't care for Genshin Impact. I think
I have friends who are in it, and I appreciate you, and I'm so glad that you're in Genshin Impact. But my vote goes for Among Us. I'm sorry.
Sorry, guys.
my only thing is
Your
like
work is amazing, and I want you to keep working forever.
they take a lot of mechanics from Breath of the Wild, and I think they add. I feel like they just weebify Breath of the Wild. Microtransactions. There we go. That was the word. I think they have microtransactions.
Are there microtransactions in that game? I mean,
I
Among Us
wouldn't be
kind of
surprised.
does like customizations and stuff, but yeah,
Yeah, but that doesn't count.
that's true. That's true.
I'm just going with most anime games that people have played on your phones in my group of friends. Like, if it's an anime game, there's probably some microtransaction to get the best character, the best gear, and everything like that.
I'm just glad that Raid Shadow Legends is not on any list of anything ever.
I know.
I don't
It's
care
weird.
how many YouTube ads I watch. I will never play your game.
All right.
Watch our video has a Raid Shadow Legends ad in it.
No, we're not that popular.
True.
Let's do best action/adventure.
Yes.
Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Ghost of Tsushima, Spider-Man, Miles Morales, Ori and the Will of the Wisp, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, and The Last of Us Part 2. Fuck, these are... Besides
Wait,
that,
why is Miles Morales on this list but not Game of the Year?
I don't know either. I don't know why that. I don't know.
That part doesn't make sense.
I said it. Miles Morales should have been where Ghost of Tsushima is, but
too new? I don't know.
Again,
it was because it came out too late, but if it's on the list for other things, why isn't it?
There's already been 4 different nominations.
I don't know.
I'm with you on this one.
I think Spider-Man is going to win this one. I really do.
I think it will too. I really think The Last of Us Part 2 should win all of the awards because it's my favorite game ever now, including Phasmophobia, despite my insane obsession.
Could you imagine if Ori and the Will of the Wisp wins this category? Just the shit. You know what? Everybody troll it. We're all voting for Ori and the Will of the Wisp. All of us.
I think
We're
it's
gonna
going
do a pact here.
I think it's going to be between Spider-Man and Fallen Order.
I think it'll be Spider-Man.
That's actually not a bad. But the action in that game is stunning. Like when we played it at Martin's house for his birthday party. When we had those 3 birthday parties like last year. That's
our surprise. I'm like, this came out like I think almost 2 years ago at this point.
It's a smooth action game.
It is. It's very smooth.
It's beautiful and it's incredible.
So
I
I
think
would
Spider-Man Miles Morales deserves it.
I think Ghost of Tsushima might win this one.
Yeah.
But I think it's gonna be because again, we can all vote for these. So I think it's gonna be a tough one between Ghost of Tsushima versus Spider-Man. I really do. But
Yeah.
I think Jedi Fallen Order. I think I'm so glad it's on this. I'm glad it's there. I'm glad it's nominated at least. But I think what do I think the voters are gonna vote for? Tsushima or Spider-Man.
Yeah.
For this one.
Probably.
I'm gonna
Best
go
role
out of my way to
playing.
get people to vote for Last of Us.
Best role playing. I got Final Fantasy VII, Genshin Impact, Persona 5 Royal, Wastelands 3, and Yakuza Like a Dragon.
Listen, I'm a huge Persona fan. I think it's bullshit that Royal's on here. I really do. It's not fair. I just don't understand. There are
For best role playing?
there are other RPGs out there. I don't know why it's on there. It's a remake. That doesn't make sense to me. It really doesn't. I know Final Fantasy VII says remake. It's not a remake. It is absolutely not a remake. You can't
No,
look
it's
at
not.
Final Fantasy VII
Well-
and Final Fantasy VII remake and be like, those are the same games. No.
No, remake is built differently from the ground up. I think you're
Yes.
thinking remaster.
No. Final Fantasy VII is remake. It's literally called remake. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm disputing the fact that it's really not a remake. They're just saying that just because. I mean, let's be honest. People are stupid. So remake is it basically just ends conversation. So everyone's like, and they're like, it's fuck it. We're just gonna call it a remake. So everybody will just shut up.
Yeah. All right.
anyways,
You got any views, Athena?
Not really. I haven't really played most of them.
Yeah.
Persona 5 is one of my favorite games of all time. It's my favorite Persona game. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. It's probably going to win this one. No, I think Final Fantasy is going to win this one. But I still think it's bullshit that Persona 5 is on this list when there are other RPGs that came out this year. But
yeah, I think it'll be between Final Fantasy and Persona.
It's going to make me sad because I think Yakuza
I think
is
it'll
also
probably be Final
No,
Fantasy.
I'm playing Yakuza 0 right now, and I'm loving Yakuza 0. So I was kind of hoping I want Like a Dragon to win.
The reviews and everything else that I've heard about it, and people who I know who have actually play tested it. Great game. Oh my god, I can't wait to play it. Yeah, I would love Yakuza to win. It's not going to. It's gonna be Final Fantasy VII. But I want to also just say one last time, Persona 5 Royale. No, I'm sorry, that's bullshit. No.
Yeah.
No.
I'm going to skip fighting just because I don't think anyone here plays fighting. It's never been my thing. Okay, best family. I'm only doing this one because there's one issue I had that I don't think even should be in this category.
Oh.
Okay.
And that is
As
Animal
a mom, I'm
Crossing.
interested to hear.
Is Animal Crossing New Horizons, Crash Bandicoot 4,
I want that with the
Fall
one they said.
Guys, Minecraft Dungeons, Paper Mario: The Origami King, Mario Kart Live Home Circuit.
I agree
Would
with
you
you.
count that as a game?
It's not a fucking game. It's an interactive product. It's not a game. There's game
it's
elements to it.
It's a
It is a
remote
toy.
control toy that you control from your Switch. That's where I think the technicality. I'm like, I saw this. I'm like, I don't partly agree with that.
Yeah, I don't agree with that one.
I love
either.
Mario Kart, but I wouldn't count it as a game. I would count it as just a toy with an app. It's like how my brother has this. It's like they make Star Wars of I forgot what the round robot is.
R2D2?
No, B8. I think it's B8.
Oh, yeah,
BB-8?
BB-8, yeah.
BB8, and it's you control it through your phone. Actually, that was just for example,
My
but
son
a
has
lot of
it.
stuff has that. Yeah, a lot of companies have that, where it's like, here's a remote control toy, but the controls can be accessed through your phone. You would still count it as a remote control toy, as car, robot, whatever.
It's not a
I think
video.
I view Mario as the same thing. Like, it's still a remote control car. It just happens it's on the Switch. The control is the Switch. That's my argument with that.
I don't.
I give this to Animal Crossing for family. Family, I'm giving to Animal Crossing.
Absolutely.
That was just my rant. I don't consider that a game.
The Mario Kart one is very annoying because it
Yeah.
is clearly not one. And I think there's other games that should be on there. Like I would even say Mario All Stars. I mean, I know it's a collection, and it's gonna go against what I said before. But like some of it, I don't know, man. I think there's other kid games. Like isn't Ori kind of a kid's game still? Like I know it's dark. It gets a little dark and stuff like that. But I mean,
I don't know. I do not know.
or Pokemon Mystery Dungeon that came out this year. Like those are games that are for kids that are awesome for families and kids. I don't know why Mario Kart Live. It's not. It's a toy. Like I don't
Yeah.
know. Like you don't see.
I don't know.
You don't see the cardboard. You didn't see the cardboard thing get nominated last year.
Yeah.
Well, there's also Zelda. I mean, my son plays that obsessively. He's only 9.
Have you gotten the new Zelda? The
Breath
new
of the
Zelda game?
Wild.
No, the Age of Calamity.
No, I just mean Breath of the Wild. He plays obsessively. Ergo can still count as a kid's game.
Yeah,
over
true.
Mario Kart.
I was gonna say if he loves Breath of the Wild, get Age of Calamity because it's the prequel to that game.
Oh, okay. I'll have to go get that for him.
It's not.
I mean,
it's very different game wise. It's a different company. If you're familiar with Dynasty Warriors, it plays exactly like that. So the gameplay will not be exactly the same, but the stories connect.
okay. As long as the stories connect.
Let's do the last one. This will be the last one because everything else is best multiplayer. Now, we got Animal Crossing New Horizons, Among Us, Call of Duty Warzone, Fall Guys Ultimate, and Valorant. Now, the 3 biggest ones will probably be Animal Crossing, Among Us, and Fall Guys.
No, I would say Valorant. I think Valorant.
I would say everybody I know plays Valorant.
Valorant.
I don't know anyone that plays Valorant.
Oh my cousin's obsessed.
Valorant numbers are so high. Yeah. Fall Guys has made a huge decline. But Valorant is especially on Twitch. Valorant is very, very it's played. Like
yeah.
I think we on our server alone there's at least 20 people who play constantly. It's crazy.
Yeah, I'm about to say
I won't play it, but
I won't play either. If I'm giving it to anything, I love Animal Crossing, but I think it's been nominated too many times, so I'm giving it to Among Us.
Yeah.
Because
Among Us or Valorant.
Among Us is funnier if you get the right people to play it.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Like if you join from Tuesdays
to play it, it sucks.
No,
if you play with us on Tuesdays and Fridays, like man, you'll see the insanity on Twitch.
No, we were playing one time and I happened to just be the red guy. And I didn't notice, and then suddenly I think after the first round when the first person died, I don't remember his name, but he goes by the username Doug Dimmadome.
Oh, yeah, Matt Johnson from Nerdy Bit.
Yeah, Matt Johnson called me out randomly, and I did absolutely nothing. And I didn't realize until after that game we started a new one. He told me I told him why did you vote me up? I literally did not do anything. Because you told me to shush. I'm like, what are you talking about? And then, at the very beginning, it's red. It's just like, oh, you fucking. Yeah, so if we get the right people, it's the funnest game you can play.
We play it chaotically. I don't.
We don't play it because we're good. We're playing because it's funny.
Yeah, I don't think it deserves to be on the list though because it did come out in 2018. I think it only deserves to be on ongoing and the app because the app did come out this year. I do think I just don't think it's fair for it to be on here.
It did come out 2 years ago, but it was
that's why I'm kind of like, why is it on here? But
I think it's only
good for them. Yeah,
I think it's gonna go to Valorant.
I think Phasmophobia should be in the place of Among Us.
Oh, it should be. It's early access though.
So that's right.
Next year it'll happen.
Yeah.
Keep forgetting that.
Nah.
You're right. You're right.
I think there's games that have been on early access for years.
Yeah.
Bigfoot. Actually, he's made it funny that he's hired a development team. It's not just a one-man thing anymore. Which, can we just talk about that for a second? The fact that where it was at was one person who created this incredible horror atmosphere, a horror game that actually feels horror-y.
Yeah. That's actually one of the discussions I want to have for GamerKulture, where we're talking about the quarantine games and the games we've been playing and the things that have been big because of quarantine. So look out for that episode soon.
Yeah, we'll look out for that.
I think Animal Crossing has got this one in the bag, with maybe Among Us or Fall Guys or Valorant. I don't think Call of Duty has a chance in hell. So get your ass off that
Watch
list.
them win, and we're gonna be like, ugh. We should do a review episode to be like, were we correct?
We could. But you know what? Phasmophobia, is best debut game, is on there. If you look down on the list, Carrion and Phasmophobia, which Carrion is getting more love, but still a bunch of BS. This is essentially the major ones that we know about. The Sim one is kind of cool, but those are pretty. I agree with you. These are the awards that I care about.
Yeah, and then the last few are all esports, which unfortunately I'm not into esports. I don't like that competitive aspect. I'm not saying they're bad people. I just don't like the competitive aspect of it. So, yeah. But I think we covered everything in the Game Awards. So I want to thank you all for joining us.
Yeah.
Athena, do you have anywhere that they can find you? Like any Instagram or anything like that?
Tell us about your podcast.
I am on a podcast called Life of Nerd. Life of Nerd? Is it Nerd or Nerds? Fuck.
You forgot your own podcast name.
It's because my husband does most of the work.
I was just handed a drink that I didn't know was alcoholic, and that was a pleasant surprise. I was like, "Oh, cool, lemonade." Nope, never mind.
Life of Nerds. And I actually host the Nerd Woman Takeover. It's done once a month, where we kind of cover women's issues in nerddom. I also have a Twitter.
You're just the talent that shows up. Like, I don't know how it runs. I just show up.
It's because too much. I'm a night shift nurse. I work entirely too much.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah. Like, literally, I wake up an hour and a half too early on the days we record to record. And then I go to work. So, it's Life of a Nerd with an S at the end. So Life of Nerds.
The link will be in our YouTube video and also in our article on the website.
And I have a Twitter, Venus Voldaren, if you want to look me up.
Absolutely.
And you can find me on Instagram at KibblesPlays. I post up various anything new I added to my collection will get posted up there. And I'm trying to get back into streaming, so you can also follow me on Twitch at KibblesPlays, twitch.tv/KibblesPlays. And then Tyler, you do your usual spiel.
Absolutely. But also we want to I know Kuma wasn't here, but you can check out all of Kuma's stuff on GamerKulture.com. Also, he has his own channel as well, and this is gonna be posted on there as well. So if you're watching it on there, hi, this is very meta. But also you can check out all of our shows and offerings from the Grand Geek Gathering at thegrandgeekgathering.com. All of our podcasts are available on all podcast apps, and some of them are now here on YouTube, like this show, Popmosis, and soon to be Anyway, and a couple more of them as well, and Most Extreme Ranking Challenge. You can also check out our YouTube for our My Let's Plays and a few other things. I also stream on Twitch. We have a Discord. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all the stuff. Just follow our stuff. Just do it. You know you want to.
Oh,
join the gathering. But anyway, have a wonderful week. Can't wait for the results of these awards. Wear a mask and GGG.
GGG and stay cultured.
Oh, that's right. Wait, 1, 2, 3. And stay
cultured.
We almost had it. It was good.